Namaste, Tashile, everyone. So thanks for coming. Let's just start right into it with the motivation. So please adjust your motivation thinking in this way, thinking that the purpose of my life is to benefit all sentient beings. But in order that I may be able to benefit all sentient beings in the best way, I must first achieve the state of highest and complete enlightenment. Then and only then will I have all of the ability, knowledge, and power to guide sentient beings in the most effective way to be free of the oceans of samsaric suffering and lead them to the state of highest enlightenment. But the attainment of enlightenment is not without causes. And so in order to achieve enlightenment, we have to accumulate those causes, namely the collection of merit and transcendental wisdom. We also need to purify our minds of all the obscurations that prevent us from achieving enlightenment. So all of the negative karmas accumulated since beginningless time, as well as all of the obscurations and their imprints on our minds. So for those reasons, we're going to engage in this practice here today. But not only that, since we want to be a source of happiness and well-being for all sentient beings, even the slight happiness of within samsara, all the way to the complete enlightened state, we're also going to engage in this practice, thinking about the situation in this world due to the degenerate age, all of the various sicknesses, economic problems, war, natural disaster, all of the undesirable events that sentient beings are experiencing. We're going to do this practice on their behalf. So first we visualize the founder, Guru Shakyamuni Buddha, in the space in front of us, and recalling his qualities and aspiring to develop those qualities within our own minds. Then we make praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. O Lama Chamba Chonden de Shisha Vajra Chamba Yamna Bazobe Sangye Ribada Jasudam Gyamba Kimu Yue Galo Yu Lana Me Balada Minange Chamba Sangye Chonden de Bhagava Shakya Tumbala Chaselo Chede Kasuchi Lama Chamba Chonden de Shisha Vajra Chamba Yamna Bazobe Sangye Ribada Jasudam Bhagava Shakya Jiten Gyamba Kimu Yue Galo Yu Lana Me Balada Minange Tumba Sangye Chonden de Bhagava Shakya Tumbala Chaselo Chede Kasuchi Lama Chamba Chonden de Shisha Vajra Chamba Yamna Bazobe Sangye Ribada Jasudam Bhagava Shakya Jiten Gyamba Kimu Yue Galo Yu Lana Me Balada Minange Tumba Sangye Chonden de Bhagava Shakya Tumbala Chaselo Chede Kasuchi Kanse kani so kyodam se sache dila gomba dumbo ne nani jiden dina jote sun de se geba gyala cha zulu nanda gona jodu zozowa yeshe gyaso se gyalombo dra kapa jiden sumala mewa gombo jini gyala cha zulu se chodam wadi meda wecha sedo dawa gyala cha zulu dudu gyala siva
Chokhpa Sumbachi Nyame Genje Gyala Cha Tsolo Gombo Deshe Chedamba Tanye Gemba Tumbapo Sunayan Nenge Sushi Deshe Shela Cha Tsolo Dape De Chandra Wagyu Gyame Genson Lenjoshi Chidu Dana Chedyaba Shige Chela Cha Tsolo Drone Droe Layanda Lapa Dalaram Nene Shingi Nambayan Nene Gena Layan Cha Tsolo Nipachi Amijashi Yawa Punso Somachi Rangi Sani Yung Sudu Dine Sangye Tampai.
Do not commit any unwholesome actions. Engage in perfect, wholesome actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. And now from the Vajra Sutra. A star, a defective view, a butter lamp flame, an illusion, a dewdrop, a water bubble, a dream, lightning, a cloud. See all causative phenomena like this. And so now please meditate to the best of your ability while I chant the Tibetan. Om Karma Yuma Silva Chubunda. Milam Lodan Drinamu. Dorje Chenam Didata. Through these merits, may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the foe of the false, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. So next, the praises to 21 Taras. So I just wanted to do a bit of advertising. So when the coronavirus first became very problematic in China, His Holiness was asked about what practices to do. And from the very beginning, he recommended the practice of Tara to help quell and avert the coronavirus. And so even months ago in the monasteries, during the winter debate, all the monks would gather together and do these praises to 21 Taras, and then we would recite the mantra. So now I hope you saw Lama Zopa Rinpoche's advice that he gave yesterday from Kopan. In that he said that now when we do this Tara practice, since we're following His Holiness advice, then that sets up a dependent origination that we then are able to be guided by His Holiness in the future, all the way to enlightenment. So following the teacher's advice is the way that we're able to continue to be guided and led by that teacher. So here, when we do this Tara practice, it's very, very amazing opportunity for all of us. And so I also just wanted to say, I know we're chanting the Tara praises in Tibetan, and if you don't have it memorized, it can be very fast. So don't worry if you get lost. As it is said, the omniscient guru, he would even understand the grunts of a mute person. Do you understand? So the point here is we visualize our guru, an aspect of Aryatara in the space in front. And from the depths of your heart, make these requests to purify your mind of all obscurations, all the negative karmas, and to develop all the realizations on the path. And then with that firm kind of devotion in the Guru's qualities and kindness, then even if you're not able to enunciate these words and just say, re, 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 then the Guru understands, the Guru knows, and the Guru has the ability to grant all those realizations. Okay? All right. And then, of course, if following along with the Tibetan is difficult, you can follow along in English or the language you know. But maybe since we're doing this practice every day, you could, over the coming days, even come to memorize these Tara praises. That'd be very good. Okay. From your abode at the Potala, O Tara, born from the green lentil town, your crown adorned with Amitabha, action mother of the Buddhas of the 3 times, Tara, please come with your attendants. The gods and demigods bow to your lotus feet, O Tara. You who rescue all who are destitute. To you, Mother Tara, I pay homage. Om Jetsun ma Pama Joma la cha se lo Chase Joma Nyama Pama Jenike Jelona Drama Jide Zinge Jinge Shage Gesa Jawa Lane Jom Chase Denge Da Gundu Kawangene Zeme Jawa Kama Joba Zaba Nangi Rade Choye Rabam Chase Zene Jine Gege Blema Jane Nama Gyama Jiba Zene Garushi Wa Soba Sene Chene Chase Deji Jebe Zoto Tae Nama Gyawa Jama Mare Vare Jemba Dobe Gyara Zinge Jine Dam Chase Dudara Uli Ge Dodan Joda Nanga Gama Jiden Duma Shaginende Lumba Meba Lumba Nu Chase Ge Jemala Samba Luna Nazo Wanyu Juma Jumboro La Visananda Neji Zigi Dene Dum Chase Chase Jenam Bege Baro Dungara De Joma Yege Yege Shaginende Meba Jumba Shinaba
Chazo duri jiba jambo, dugi pa nama joma, chugi shoy doi danze, tawa danju malasam. Chazo ganju senzu chagya, sumudunga nama gyama, mali chugi kala gembe, rangi yagi sanandro. Chazo radi kala jebe, dugi nigi jama bama, shabara chidu tarayi, dudanju dawanadze. Chazo soji gawe tsonan, tanjingu banu manyema, drone yo igi honye, pambatan jenama drom. Chazo zao numu again, gebadan jishinu bama, regadada bamele, tabashindu razem. Chazo gebeda meda, baringi yananema, yigi yigi gini goge, draibuni namajom. Chazo soji nala chage, tigi shigi shagi doma, drone tizi igi honye, rambada mananigam. Chazo dema gema shima, naide chanyema, so naida dembe, deva jama jama nyem. Chazo gunu gara gawe, daidini namagema, yigi chibi nani gube, ripone joma nyem. Chazo duri shidi dabe, hungi nabi sabanyema, rira mandara dambe che, chidu suna yawa nyem. Chazo lai soi nambe, rira da chana nama, darani jibini yege, duna malabani sama. Chazo lai sona gyalpo, lada miye dama, kunige jada jige, sura milanya masam. Chazo nima dawa gebe, cheni bala rasama, harani judu darai, shindu taparini sam. Chazo deni suna gebe, shiwe dudayana dama, dudarana najisona, jambadare rajanim. Savana gitu badidan, chazo wani nisusachi. Onje tsuma pama joma la cha selo. Chazo joma nyama pamo, cheninga zelo dan drama, jitu zingi jigi jage, kesa jawa nene joma, jaza ningi dawa kanda, kawa kene zame shama, kama kama zavanangi, ratu jaya rabama. Chazo sene chini gege, mama jana nama gyama, jima sene galu shiawa, soba sene chanyema, chazo deshi shebe sodo, dai nama gyama chama, mara para jima dobe, gara shiki shinu dama, chazo de daram nige, dana jana nanga gama, jina nama shiki nanda, lamba baba gama nama, chazo geche mara zama, nuna nazo wanyu chama, chumoro rade zananda, deshi siki dane dama, chazo chare jara bega, para dunga rade jama, yegi nige shiki nanda, never to be shina bama, chazo dirji ajama, digi ma nama jama, drama, chazo rade gaji, man, digi nige dama bama, shabara shida darai, dida jida wana zama, chazo diga me tona, tajiga bana maniema, draya ye wangi, poma tajina ma drama, chazo nama numu again, gebada nishina bama, ragana nama mele, nama shina wana zema, chazo gema dama mena, baradingi ina nema, yegi digi nini kage, drai boy nama joma, chazo dina la chage, digi 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 dama, Troy to the Yuangi, the Padamana Gama, Chazadama Gama Shima, Nida Chanyama, so Diana Dame, the Pajama Jamanima, Chazangana Gawe, died in Namagama, the Shivini Gurbe, the Bon and Gamanima, Chazandra Shridame, Hungina Bizamanima, the Ramadana Beche, Chazayanima, Chazalai Soiname, the Dada Jalanama, Tarani Jimmy. Tuna mala pani sama, jazalai yama, lada miya kini chiga jiga, sura mela nyama sama, jazani mada gebe, chini bala rasama. Nichi tutarai, shinda dabarana sama, jalandani zananga, me shiva gagayana dam. Dalarana najinsana, jamadana najanima, savani gidavadida, jazavani disusachi. Onje tsuma pamandumala chasalo, chasajama nyama pamo, chenigedana namdama, jinazingi jigi jagi, jasajane joma, jasadena ganda, kamayani samishama, kamatama savanangi, radijaya rabam, chasajenge, pamechani namagama, jimasadragata shiva, sabasan chanyema, chasadeshi shivisudo, daya namagama, malava para jamano me jasikishina dhamma jadadadaram yige dadajana gama jiduna mishigine Levamema Gurmanama, Jasigajimana Sama, Lona Chama, Jamorana Disananda, Najinsigida, Jazajana Mega, Paranagana Jama, Yedini Shigina, Mamadamashina Bama, Jalaja Jamba, Digi Pawana Majama, Chikishoda Dance, Jotachimana Sama, Jazagana Chaga, Samatagana Magama, Malichiki Golagambe, Rangi Sanadroma, Chazaranga Jima, Nagina Drama, Chimama, Jazanamo, Gang, Madination Bama, Regadana Mede, Nabashina Tema, Jazagamana Meda, Barding in a Nema, Yiding and Dry Boy in our Jom, Chazana Chagia, beginning Chikidoma, trying to see you on yet, and Matamanagam. Chazatema Gamashima, Nine and Chanima, so Nayana Dambe, the Pachamajamaniema, Jazaganagaraga, trying to Namagam. You get your Venaniga, Rivana Dramanima, Jazandra Shadabe, Hungina Samanima, Ramadara Major, Jadansanayani, Jadanai Sainame, Rida Tarani Jubilee, Ganamana Manisama, Jadanai Sangye, Larami and Dama, getting a Jagajiga, Sadamela Namasama, Jazanima Dagame, Cheripola Sama, Harani Judarai, Shilamarani Sama, Jazani Sananga, Shiragade and Dam, Jadaran Sona, Jamandara Janyama, Savanagi the Bandira, Chasavani Sachi.
Next, Tara mantra recitation. I prostrate to Mother Tara, who liberates beings from samsara with Tare, liberates from the 8 fears with Tutare, and liberates from illnesses with Ture. Om Tare Tutare Tare. And so again, we do a visualization while reciting the mantra. So please visualize in the space in front your own root guru in the aspect of Aryatara with a huge body, huge like a snow mountain. At Aryatara's heart is a lotus and moon disk, on top of which is the syllable Tam, surrounded by the 10-syllable mantra Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. As we recite the mantra, then light rays radiate out in 10 directions, first purifying all sinning beings of all their negative karmas, all of their illnesses, all of their mental afflictions, all of their suffering, as well as all of the obscurations to both liberation and enlightenment. Then in the second half of the recitation, you can visualize that the light rays that radiate out grant all the realizations of the path, particularly the mind of bodhicitta, the altruistic aspiration to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all sinning beings, as well as the ultimate view, the realization of emptiness. And then by the end of our recitation, all sinning beings are enlightened in the aspect of Tara. Om Tare Ture Sum. So just rest for a moment with a visualization that now all sentient beings are now completely purified and enlightened in the aspect of Aryatara. Then rejoice, thinking how wonderful it is now, how wonderful it is I've been able to lead all sentient beings to enlightenment. Okay, so next, the 7-line prayer to Guru Padmasambhava. We're on page 17 in your books. So again, visualizing Guru Padmasambhava, inseparable from your own virtuous friend in the space in front of you. Body huge, like a snow mountain. And then recalling Guru Padmasambhava's prayers and commitments to help pacify the obstacles facing sentient beings of this degenerate age. That's now. And so again, from the depth of your heart, ocean, recalling the kindness and qualities of Guru Padmasambhava. And with that in mind, we recite. Again, again, no jasa, mema yasa dombola. Yasen chugin no drone, mema june shesu. Kodum kadum mambongo, gigi jesu da drugi. Chingi lachi shesu so, guru mema sidi. Again, again, no jasa, mema yasa dombola. Yasen jugin no drone, mema june shesuda. Kodo kodo mambongo, gigi jesu da drugi. Chingi lachi shesu so, guru mema sidi. Again, again, no jasa, mema yasa dombola. Yasen jugin no drone, mema june shesuda. Kodum kodum mambongo, gigi jesu da drugi. Chingi lachi shesu so, guru mema sidi. Again, again, no jasa, mema yasa dombola. Yasen jugin no drone, mema june shesuda. Kodo kodo mambongo, gigi jesu da drugi. Chingi lachi shesu so, guru mema sidi. Again, again, no jasa, mema yasa dombola. Yasen jugin no drone, mema june shesuda. Kodo kodo mambongo, gigi jesu da drugi. Chingi lachi shesu so, guru mema sidi. Again, again, no jasa, mema yasa dombola. Yasen jugin no drone, mema june shesuda.
Kodu Kando Mambo Kiki Jetsun Dachuki Jingi Laje Sheksu So Guru Brahma Siri.
So next, the prayer in 6 Vajra lines, page 21 in your booklets. O Jetsun Sangye
Guru Rinpoche Dawa Jamba Sham Bache Kunsa Dudu Rambosa Solwa Dasa Jingi Lamtuso Chinan Sawe Bache Shiva Dan Samba Lungi Drupa Jingi Loi Dusum Sangye Guru Rinpoche Nadu Kunda Dewa Chimpusha Bache Kunsa Dudu Rambosa Solwa Dasa Jingi Lamtuso Chinan Sawe Bache Shiva Dan Samba Lungi Drupa Jingi Duso Sangye Guru Rinpoche Nadu Kanda Dewa Chamba Sham Bache Kunsa Dudu Rambosa Solwa Deso Jingi Lamtusa Chinan Sawe Bache Shiva Dan Samba Lungi Drupa Jingi Lo
Om Ahum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Om Ahum Benza Guru Pema So again, doing a similar visualization while we recite the mantra, thinking that from Guru Rinpoche's heart, light rays radiate out in the 10 directions, purifying all sentient beings of all of their sickness, and more importantly, the cause of the sickness, the negative karma, as well as the cause of the negative karma, the delusions and their imprints in the mind, as well as all of the obscurations to both liberation and enlightenment. And then during the second half, you can visualize that those light rays go out to the 10 directions and grant all the realizations of the path, particularly the realization of bodhicitta and the realization of emptiness. And by the end of our recitation, all sentient beings become enlightened in the aspect of Guru Rinpoche. Om Ahum
Benza
Benzabu
Guru
Pema
Dhamma
Siddhi.
Siddhi.
Again, at the end, just rest in that awareness that all sentient beings are now completely purified and have attained enlightenment in the aspect of Guru Rinpoche. And then generate joy, thinking how wonderful it is. Now my deepest aspiration has been fulfilled. I have now led all sentient beings to the state of enlightenment. So next, the requesting prayer to Lama Tsongkhapa, the swift fulfillment of wishes. So we're on page 25 in your booklets. So again, visualizing Lama Tsongkhapa in the space in front, inseparable from your own virtuous friend. And then recalling the kindness and qualities of your root guru. Make this request from the depths of your heart. Supreme embodiment of the wisdom and compassion of all the victorious ones in the three times, manifesting as the monk wearing the three saffron robes, the spontaneous exalted wisdom Dhammakaya possessing the five bodies, to you, Jetsun most Dhammakaya, I make request. Please bless me that my wishes be swiftly fulfilled. With the nature of primordially pure clear light, uninterrupted natural expression of the complete Sambhogakaya, great being who unifies body and mind, to you, Jetsun most Dhammakaya, I make request. Please bless me that my wishes be swiftly fulfilled. Displaying an array of manifold Nimanakaya emanations, appropriate to limitless living beings, equaling the expanse of space, to you, Jetsun most Dhammakaya, I make request. Please bless me that my wishes be swiftly fulfilled. Through the power of having made single-pointed requests to you, may all the unfortunate natural manifestations of the degenerate age, illness, famine, quarreling, epidemic, disease, graha spirits, interferers, and so forth, be pacified. Then, when I request that the excellent collection of conducive conditions increase, please bless me that my wishes be swiftly fulfilled. Having completely cleared away the darkness of ignorance and confusion, and fully developed the illumination, virtuous friend who causes 100-petal lotus of the scriptural tradition to bloom, the sun radiating benefit and happiness, to you I make request. Please bless me that my wishes be swiftly fulfilled. Since I and others, the assembly of faithful disciples, have no other Lord of refuge to turn to for hope, when we make requests in all the 6 sessions of day and night, please bless us that the Guru's blessings may enter our minds. Also at the end of this life, may I see you, glorious Losandrapa, along with your retinue, and immediately have a vision of you, saying reassuringly, Son, go to the celestial realm of Tushita. Care for me with your compassion, precious Guru. Please bless me that my wishes be swiftly fulfilled. So here at the end, you can think that Lama Tsongkhapa is saying, yes, yes, I will grant all your wishes. I will grant all the things you requested. So next, the prayer of Thangtong Gyalpo, liberating Sakya from disease. Page 32. All sentient beings, my mothers, who are infinite like space, go for refuge to precious Guru Buddha. We go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. We go for refuge to the assembly of Gurus, Yidams, and Kinikinis. We go for refuge to the empty clarity of our own minds, the Dharmakaya. All sentient beings, my mothers, who are infinite like space, go for refuge to the precious Guru Buddha. We go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. We go for refuge to the assembly of Gurus, Yidams, and Kinis. We go for refuge to the empty clarity of our own minds, the Dharmakaya. All sentient beings, my mothers, who are infinite like space, go for refuge to the precious Guru Buddha. We go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. We go for refuge to the assembly of Gurus, Yidams, and Kinis. We go for refuge to the empty clarity of our own minds, the Dharmakaya. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. So again, with a visualization in the space in front, our Guru in the aspect of Avalokiteshvara is abiding. At his heart is a moon disk and lotus, on top of which is the syllable Hri, surrounded by the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum. As we recite the mantra, first light rays radiate out in the 10 directions, purifying all sentient beings of all of their negative karma, all of their delusions, all of their sickness, all of their obscurations to both liberation and omniscience. And then in the second half, you can visualize that the light rays radiate out and grant all the realizations, particularly bodhicitta, the correct view of emptiness, and then all sentient beings by the end of the recitation are enlightened in the aspect of Avalokiteshvara. And you can also think, if you're visualizing Thousand Arm Chenrezig, from the hand comes out nectar that grants all the material needs of sentient beings, all the medicine, food, anything sentient beings need. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Very strong, purifying, white light rays. Om Mani Padme Hum. So now again at the end, resting in the awareness that now all sentient beings are enlightened in the aspect of Arya Avalokiteshvara, and rejoice. Now the actual prayer. May all the diseases that sadden the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions, such as the harms of raw spirits, illnesses, and bhutas, not occur in the realms of the world. May whatever sufferings there are from life-threatening diseases, like a butcher leading an animal to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind in a mere instant, not occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and other epidemic disease. The mere sounds of whose names terrify beings, as though they had been placed inside the mouth of Yama, the Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, the 360 evil spirits that harm subtly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. May whatever sufferings there are due to disturbance of the four elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. May the body and mind have radiance and power, and be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the power of the Gurus and the Three Jewels, by the power of the Dakinis, Dharma protectors, and guardians, by the power of the truth of the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. So next, the Vajra armor, protection wheel, short practice, page 37. So again, those of you who have the requisite initiations, you can visualize yourself, or you can arise in the aspect of the deity. But even if you haven't, then it's good to meditate on emptiness, the ultimate nature of reality, means that all phenomena lack inherent existence, existence from the object's own side, objective existence, independent existence. So they say the king of reasonings to establish the emptiness of phenomena is dependent arising. So the mere fact that they depend on other phenomena means they're not independently existent. They don't exist in and of themselves. So then those of you with the requisite initiation, that very mind of yours that realizes emptiness unconceptually, conjoined with great bliss, that very mind itself arises then in the aspect of blue Vajrapani, holding a Vajra and a snake lasso. My holy body is complete with the glorious ornaments of the charnel grounds, and I stand with my 2 feet stretched out on a lotus in sun. I abide amidst a blazing transcendental wisdom fire. From my holy body, fire Garudas, iron scorpions, black pigs, wind, fire, and the noxious vapors of poison are emitted like violent winds and hailstorms, destroying all disease, epidemics, spirit harms, and interference. So maintain that visualization, either on the basis of yourself, visualized as the deity, or on the basis of front generation, your guru in the aspect of the Vajra armor deity in the space in front. Om Vizave Om Shavri Vedamaji Nagananda Dasavri Dahana Vajana Vajraso Om Vizave Om Shavri Vedamaji Nagananda Dasavri Dahana Vajana Vajraso Om Vizave Om Shavri Vedamaji Nagananda Dasavri Dahana Vajana Vajraso Om Vizave Om Shavri Vedamaji Nagananda Dasavri Dahana Vajana Vajraso Om Vizave Om Shavri Vedamaji Nagananda Dasavri Dahana Vajana Vajraso Om Vizave Om Shavri Vedamaji Nagananda Dasavri Dahana Vajana Vajraso Om Vizave Om Shavri Vedamaji Nagananda Dasavri Dahana Vajana Vajraso Om Vizave Om Shavri Vedamaji Nagananda Dasavri Dahana Vajana Vajraso Om Vizave Om Shavri Vedamaji Nagananda Dasavri Dahana Vajana Vajraso Om Vizave Om Shavri Vedamaji Nagananda Dasavri Dahana Vajana Vajraso Om Vizave Om Shavri Vedamaji Nagananda Dasavri Dahana Vajana Vajraso Om Vizave Om Shavri Vedamaji Nagananda Dasavri Dahana Vajana Vajraso Om Vizave Om Shavri Vedamaji Nagananda Dasavri Dahana Vajana Vajraso Om Vizave Om Shavri Vedamaji Nagananda Dasavri Dahana Vajana Vajraso Om Vizave Om Shavri Vedamaji Nagananda Dasavri Dahana Vajana Vajraso Om Vizave Om Shavri Vedamaji Nagananda Dasavri Dahana Vajana Vajraso Om Vizave Om Shavri Vedamaji Nagananda Dasavri Dahana Vajana Vajraso
Om Bajave Om Bajave Bajave Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Bajave Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Bajave Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Bajave Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Bajave Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Bajave Om Bajave Namaste Nagananda Dasa Vedana Vajana Vajana Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso. Om Mudebe, Om Mudebe, Benavajay, Nagananda, Sabrida, Hanana Vajana, Vajavaso.
So at the end of the recitation, you can blow on water to bless it, or you can also blow on cream or lotion, and then apply it to affected areas on your skin, or at the very least, blow into your nostrils like this. So I know some of you might be taking care of sick people. So even if they are not reciting the mantra, you can then share this water with them. But then all of us, we should think at the conclusion of the session, think that all disease and spirit harm are totally destroyed. Then abide for a while in the state of meditation on the actual mode of existence, emptiness. Beyond is what is to be protected and what protects. Then while empty, one arises again as the deity's holy body. So it occurred to me when reading Rinpoche, Lama Zopa Rinpoche's advice, he was talking about how this is a very important time to engage in purification practice. So in general, the purification practice is done through the so-called four opponent powers. And to make those four opponent powers complete in our practice sessions together, it's important that we also do the last one, the resolve. So please think now that whatever negative actions that we find very difficult to refrain from, we'll at least refrain from those for a few seconds or a few minutes. But those negative actions that we find it easy to refrain from, we will refrain from. Okay. So page 40, we'll do the dedications. Due to all the roots of virtue accumulated in 3 times by myself, all sentient beings and all the Buddhas,
through any sentient beings may seeing, remembering, or touching me, may I fulfill all the hopes of all transmigrating beings perfectly and completely, just like a wish-fulfilling jewel or a wish-fulfilling tree. May all the negative karmas and obscurations accumulated since beginning this birth be instantly and completely purified. May the mind of enlightenment that cherishes others more than oneself be generated in one's mental continuum. Having easily generated the great seed of clear light in their minds, may they quickly achieve the state of highest complete enlightenment. In short, by pleasing the holy virtuous master, with the activities of much listening that bring to completion the realization of the Buddha's intent, may I spread the teachings of the victorious one in the 10 directions.
So continuing on page 41. Janju Sancho
Rinpoche Magya Banang Gyu Shing Yeba Nyamba Memba
Yang
Gone Gondu Belwai Jo.
Samsara and Nirvana lack even an atom of inherent existence, and cause and effect independent arising and unbetraying.
I seek your blessings to discern the meaning of Nagarjuna's thought, that these two are mutually complementary and not contradictory.
May the precious realization of the
2 stages not yet born arise. May that arisen not decline, but increase more and more.
Due to all the past, present, and future merits collected by me, the numberless
Buddhas
Buddhas,
and the numberless sentient beings, may all wars, sickness, famine, and economic problems in the world, and all dangers of earth, water, fire, and wind be pacified immediately, and may perfect peace and happiness prevail in everyone's hearts and lives. By the generating loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta, may the Buddha Dharma last for a long time, and may the sentient beings in this world meet the Buddha Dharma and achieve enlightenment as quickly as possible.
determined to obtain the
greatest possible benefit from all sentient beings, who are more precious than a wish-fulfilling jewel. I shall hold them most dear at all times.
Due to all the
Past, present, and future merits collected by me, the numberless Buddhas, and numberless sentient beings, which are completely empty, existing from their own side. May I, who am completely empty, existing from my own side, achieve the state of full enlightenment, which is completely empty, existing from his own side. Indeed, all sentient beings are completely empty, existing from their own side. To that state which is completely empty, existing from its own side.
by
myself alone, which is completely empty, existing from my own side.
So these two next verses from the King of Prayers. O Jamba Pavo Jida Kemba Dang
Kuno Zambo Deyan Dejinde, Deda Kungi Jesu Dalochi, Gewa Dida Tanche Ratu, O Jesu Shebe Gewa Tanche Gi, Noa Dala Chudu Nada, Taki Gewa Sawa Digungyang, Zambo Juji Ratu Yuai.
So just a little bit of advertising about those two verses. So Lama Tsongkhapa himself, he very highly praised reciting these two verses. Of course, if you can recite the whole King of Prayers, it's better. But at the very least, do these two verses. So it's kind of like, when you go to a restaurant, remember when we used to do that?
Mm-hmm.
And then you see someone else, they have a very delicious plate. You don't know what it is, but you just tell the waiter, oh, I'll have what he's having. So it's kind of like that. We can't think with a vast mind of bodhisattvas, but dedicating in this way, dedicating in the way that all the Buddhas have praised in the past, dedicating in the way that all the bodhisattvas in the past have dedicated, we can then, fulfill and follow their aspirations, even if we can't enumerate them individually. So these two verses are very highly praised by Lama Tsongkhapa. Shantideva also mentions that in his Laptu, the Compendium of Trainings. So we should do that every time. Okay, so now the long life prayer for the embodiment of Avalokiteshvara, the sole guide and protector of all the beings of the three realms. Jikten kam dir Then for Kyabje Lama Zopa Rinpoche, page 48. Through illuminating all,
your appearance dispels the darkness. Your clear mind knows the 84,000 heaps of Dharma, the power, the remedy to 84,000 delusions. Your proclaiming dependent arising itself is victorious in battle with the Maras. I worship supremely kind, great Vajra on my crown. Clarifying the scriptures and realizations, the teachings of Muni. You spread and illuminate those teachings wherever they have not yet spread in the world. Having become an actual son of the conquerors, you bear hardships with patience. In your continuum is realization of perfection of wisdom, subtle dependent arising. Precious jewel, Lord, possessing love and compassion, who liberates upon seeing. Treasury of mastery, the all-arising interpretive and definitive scriptures. Extremely great among the great, fully comprehending and clarifying the meaning of emptiness and compassion. You guide all beings in the path of liberation. Perfectly qualified spiritual friend, my Guru, please remain forever. She who protects and defeats the 3 times Saratara, please increase the lifespans and activities of beings who serve the Holy Dharma, and always without separation develop their spontaneous actions by the infallible deities of the 3 roots. May all beings most wishes.
So we also dedicate all the merits accumulated by ourselves, as well as all the merits accumulated over 3 times by all the numberless Buddhas and numberless sentient beings, for all those beings who have recently died, including all those who have died due to complications of the coronavirus.
Oh, I have a dedication, a name here, Monsieur Siuda. He was the father of a friend of Venerable Dechen who just died from COVID virus.
Okay. So all the names we've been asked to pray for, even all the ones we haven't been asked to pray for, all the beings who are currently, in the bardo, may they instantly be reborn in the pure land of the Buddha, where they can achieve enlightenment. Or at the very least, may they attain a good or precious human rebirth, meet with the Mahayana gurus, the Mahayana teachers, and in their very next life, be able to achieve the highest state of complete enlightenment by generating as quickly as possible the realizations of bodhicitta and the correct view of emptiness. Then we also dedicate all the merits accumulated by ourselves, as well as the numberless Buddhas and numberless sentient beings in the past, present, and future, for all those beings who are sick, particularly Ms. Seagrave, and now her son, Paul, who is at home taking care of her. Well, probably by now, you're sick too.
Yeah.
So all those beings who are sick, may they instantly, in this very second, be freed of all their ailments. Then having completely recovered, may they live the most meaningful life in Mahayana teachings, especially developing bodhicitta and the view of emptiness in their mind, seconds to lay, and attain enlightenment in this very body. Then all the beings, we dedicate the past, present, and future merits of ourselves and the numberless Buddhas, numberless sentient beings, for all the beings who are experiencing various economic hardship in this world and the other worlds of the 10 directions, those experiencing hunger, those without enough food to eat, those without a place to stay, those without medicine, then all the medical staff that are running out of supplies, protective gear, the supplies they need to benefit and help the sick. May everyone in the 10 directions always receive everything they need, all the food, medicine, shelter, all the wealth, clothing, anything they need. And may this never become a cause for them to generate greed or attachment, but only become conducive conditions for them to practice Dharma. And thus may all sentient beings achieve enlightenment as quickly as possible.
Can I add something?
Yes.
So I'd just like to add dedication and gratitude to all the many public servants, healthcare workers, police, firefighters, and others who've courageously put their lives on the line during this time, and also for all those who are manning the stores and emptying the trash or delivering the mail, all these truck drivers, all the shopkeepers, all those who are delivering food, delivering services. And also I like to dedicate that those who are in intensive care and unable to be with their loved ones, who are separated from their loved ones, that they not feel alone, but they feel the presence of their God, of Jesus, of whoever they pray to, that they not feel alone, that they be comforted by Chenrezig, Guru Chenrezig in whatever form, and that the relatives who are unable to be with their loved ones who are dying, that they not feel separated, that their hearts heal, and they keep in their hearts fond memories and love of the ones that they have lost, and that the grieving process, they receive all the healing that they need to go through that. And all the gurus and all the great masters in every tradition, every spiritual tradition, who are making prayers right now, may all their prayers be fulfilled, and may their lives be long.
Okay. So I have a special announcement also. So one of the practices that has been recommended for the world is the Nosang incense puja. So Lama Zopa Rinpoche, he tried to organize various lamas here in Nepal to go to the various places and perform this puja, which is extremely beneficial for purifying the world, the environment. Unfortunately, Nepal is now on a lockdown, and so some of the lamas did it in their own place. But now what we wanted to do is have a global Nosang incense puja. We're going to do it tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock Indian time. So our people on the west coast of the US, it's a good time for you. Our friends in Europe, it's also a good time for you, but it's like 2 a.m. So it's a good time. But everyone, we will send out the information. The practice itself is available for download. And then wherever you are, try to light incense, even if it's from your balcony of your apartment, even if it's from your yard. We'll try to get as many people to do this prayer and practice together. And then all over the world, we can have hundreds, I hope thousands, I hope millions of people doing this practice together. And we will do it with the motivation of bodhicitta, of course, and work to do whatever we can to purify the environment and all the suffering that people and other sentient beings are experiencing. So tomorrow, 9 a.m. Indian Standard Time, which is GMT or UTC plus 5.5 hours. Okay, so thank you very much. More details will come on the Choe Khor Sum Ling. We'll have it on the Facebook page. We'll have it a YouTube live stream announcement coming out soon. So hope to see you all then. And merci beaucoup.